நான் ஏங்கிக் கொண்டே இருப்பேன். சண்டை வந்தாலும் காதல் வந்தாலும் உன்னுடன் சேர்ந்து நானே வாழத்தானே துடிப்பேன். போட போடி போட போடி போட போடி உன்னை காதலிக்கிறேன். போட போடி போட போடி போட போடி உன்னை நான் பார்க்கிறேன்.
Hey guys, Review Ronnie here, doing my next review of Podaa Podi. I'm so excited to review this film. Personally, it was one of my... Hey, how's it going?
It's going. Nice intro.
I was gonna say, trying to do it like you do it,
You know, that was good.
Yeah?
As you can see, guys, because this is a bit of a romantic comedy with Simbu, I wanted to bring in the lady's perspective. So let's get into this review. I can't wait to hear what she has to say. So first things first, we're going to touch on the actors and actresses in this movie. So we've got Simbu, who plays Arjun, and then we've got Varalakshmi, who plays Nisha, who's the love interest. Next up, we've got Ganesh playing the uncle to Arjun. So let's touch on Simbu's dancing first. What do you think?
You know what, I really liked his performance and all the dancing throughout the whole movie. I am partial to the beginning scene when he was doing his little thing shirtless, but, you know, candy for the ladies, some eye candy,
I guess
right?
so. I think they're flaunting it a bit too much in his role. I know he's trying to be this new and improved, have the six-pack type look like six-pack Surya, but I don't think he quite pulled it off.
Do you think you could have pulled it off better than him?
You know, I might be able to do a couple more crunches than him.
Can we convince you to maybe do a duel?
Maybe later, maybe later.
All right.
Maybe later. But I do think he did a fantastic job in the dancing. I know he had to learn some different styles in contemporary, and of course, we all know he's a master of the Ghana dance.
It's true.
So this guy was on point throughout the film, and that was really what kept the energy levels up in, you know, in the specific scenes.
It's true, and you know what? When they did the Ghana dance, I love that part of the film. I feel like he really came into his element at that point.
I do think, though, they could have, you know, it sort of came across as it was a bit of a musical. There was a lot of song and dance in this film, and I know it sort of carried it, but that, having said that, how do you think he did as in an acting type of role?
You know what, I enjoyed his acting as well. I thought he did really great, especially because the film was kind of diverse in the different roles he did need to play. He had to be protective, he had to be jealous, then he had to be like the loving husband at some points too, right? And I think like the diversity of that, I think he did really well. I think he pulled it off.
I'm going to have to sort of differ my opinion in that point. Yeah, I do think that the film was carried by Simbu, so I'll give him credit that without him in this and without it being so focused on him, there would have been a big gap. You know, he did a quality job in his acting, and I think he sometimes a bit overacted because he was compensating for the other characters in the movie.
Really? How do you find that he overacted?
Well, I'm looking at Nisha in this movie, and she's supposed to be the secondary prominent character, and I didn't feel that from her. I felt as if she was on screen, but Simbu was still dominating. I don't know if that's a bad directional standpoint or if it's a good standpoint. What do you think?
Well, do you think that maybe that was just because he has more experience in the industry? This is her first film, you know, maybe that came across on screen?
Yeah, I think there was that. I guess that came into play at some points.
Yeah.
So, I guess having said that, what did you think of Varalakshmi?
You know what, I thought she did a great job. I mean, I can kind of go into her head and like filming this movie, I'm sure it was really nerve-wracking, you know, her dad's well known in the industry, and then this is her debut role. But I thought she did well. I know you probably don't agree with me, but I really liked her in this movie.
I'm not going to be super hard on her because it is her first time in the industry, and being a first time try, you know, she did a solid job. She came across quite convincing on screen, but like I said, she got over dominated by Simbu for the most part. She's got a lot of learning to go forward with, but you know, on a whole, I give her a pretty high rating.
Yeah, and you know what? I think she has a lot of potential. As a starting film, I think she proved she's a great dancer. She proved that, you know, maybe she didn't match up to Simbu in the way that we all hoped that she would, but she's got a lot to grow, I think.
Yeah, there's some growth there. But okay, so now that we've sort of covered off the two main characters, we've got Ganesh, who played the uncle in this role. He did a good job because we've seen him in past movies with Simbu. We know that him and Ganesh are very good collaboration on screen. We've seen him in VTV, and it really did pull through again. I just don't think that the lines and quality of acting was there to showcase that connection that him and Simbu have on screen.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you, but you know what? I did love his role in the movie because he did play, the comedic
The
guy,
funny role,
right?
yeah.
Right? He came with his one-liners, and those were like the highlights of the movie for me.
It's true. It lightened up the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an already playful type romantic comedy movie, so that element had to be there. But for the most part, it's just about those three characters. So now it's that time where we give it a rating. And because Simbu was a one-man show in this film, I think we should give it a 6 out of 10. So next up, we're going to touch on the storyline. Now, this one was written by Vignesh Shivan, and he did a fantastic job. I think you were telling me a little bit of background information that you were reading about.
Yeah, so basically this movie started as a short film, which is kind of a cool concept that it started as a short and then made its way into feature length.
No, that's awesome, and it really shows the true testament of how much talent there is out in the industry. I mean, there's up-and-comers all over the place, and not to put a plug in, but in the Movie Review Raja short film contest, can't wait to see your submissions. That ended today, actually.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. Can't wait for it. But coming back to the storyline, I think this one, it didn't have enough for me personally to keep me, I guess, fully entertained from start to finish. I don't know what your thoughts were on the twists and turns throughout the movie.
You know what? I thought it was interesting because it started out and I was really on her side. I was like, what is this guy? She's trying to accomplish her dreams. And then by the end of it, I kind of felt like I was siding with him because I was like, that man needs to get off her, stop touching her in the salsa dancing, inappropriate. So it's funny because I feel like I switched sides halfway through the movie.
Yeah, I did feel that the movie, because it was so based on Simbu's actions, I think they made it very male-dominated, and you can sort of see that playing out throughout the film. I don't know if this was definitely the best thing to do, because you end up sort of just being focused on him the whole time. Not to keep repeating myself, but I think at the end of the day, there needs to be a variety of characters. The plot needs to be developed around all of those characters and not just one person.
So you don't think that she was very prevalent in the story at all?
I mean, she was there, but she just falls secondary to Simbu. I think that might actually be, I guess, props to Simbu for acting so well and so strong in the movie.
So you kind of think it kind of has to do with his acting as opposed to maybe the storyline in general?
Yeah, I think that the direction needed to give all the characters more development, but the story on a whole, it just wasn't there for me. It wasn't strong enough. It sort of developed to the midpoint and then fell off on the second half. There wasn't enough to keep you going, and the twist in the movie, maybe it's because it's a movie strictly about dance, basically, at the end of the day, and the relationship between Simbu and his wife, but I think it could have had a lot more development in it.
But what was interesting is a lot of films tend to focus on just the lead-up point to the marriage, right? And this really examined the relationship after that point. So I thought that was kind of cool that they did that.
Yeah, that's pretty rare for the Tamil industry, actually. So that was pretty cool. So I guess, what are we gonna rate this one?
It's a tough one. I feel like we disagree on this one a little bit.
I know. I'm thinking. The storyline wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be, so I'm gonna give it a 6. But what do you want to give it?
You know what? I'm going to agree with you on that one.
6?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So this one's getting a 6 out of 10. Vignesh Shivan not only wrote this story, but he also directed it. And I think he did a mediocre job. And the reason I say that is because Simbu was such a prominent character in this film. And I think he took over every single scene. There wasn't one moment where the direction took the secondary character and brought her up to the same level. Did you think that?
Yeah, I'd agree with you because even in her dance scenes, which really did showcase her, it would always go back to him and his opinion and his thoughts on it. And two, he always had his emotional sides, right? What he was thinking of the situations. And she never really had a chance to voice her opinion in that way.
I do think that it sort of boils down to Simbu being the star, and she's not necessarily established in the industry. So she's sort of up and coming. But I think as a director, Vignesh really needed to coach her and direct her to bring her to life, to make her be the best person on screen she can be. And I know this was filmed over a couple of years, so it's not always as easy as we think it would be, but at the end of the day, every movie needs multiple characters. It can't just be about one person, and I think that he sort of fell apart in that sense, and it became the Simbu show.
It did become the Simbu show a little
I
bit.
think it did, right? I mean, the guy was always in his own little world, in his own little head, at home, lying in his bed, and it was always developing him as a character, but then it goes to the girl, and you see her with someone else, and it's not really about her. It always got taken away, I think.
Do you think that he was playing to the audience in that sense?
I think a little bit,
Yeah.
but you know, and in Tamil cinema, and in this film specifically, it shouldn't have been so based around the hero as it was, really.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, are we gonna rate this one?
Let's do it.
I think we should. I'm thinking, you know, because I wasn't as pleased with it as I could have been, I'm thinking I'm gonna give it a 6.
You know what? I agree with you on that.
Yeah?
You are the review Raja, so I'll go with your rating.
Not to sound like we keep giving everything a 6, but we're gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. It's time to talk about the man in charge of the camera, the cinematography by Duncan Telford. And I thought this was just average. I didn't think there was any shining moments, but if I had to give some strong points, I would say the music development in the club scenes, in the competitions, and I guess that just the song and dance on a whole was very well done.
Yeah, I have to agree. Those scenes were great. They were really well shot. Love them. But I think on the other aspect of it, you know, they're in England. It's a great, great place to be. Lots of things to see, lots of things to showcase. And I felt like that was a little bit weak.
Yeah, there was a couple moments where they showed specific buildings in England, and then it seemed like time went by in the exact same scene, in the exact same filming vantage point, continued to happen over and over again, which is quite a weakness, especially if I'm noticing it as the viewer. There must have been some repetition there.
What was also interesting is that this movie, you know, like the Disneyland scene, it was shot in Hong Kong, and it's actually the first Tamil movie to be shot at that Disneyland in Hong Kong.
That's pretty cool. I do
Yeah.
like that. That's something new and exciting. It didn't really carry super strong moments either, though. I did see them highlighting the Disney characters and whatnot, but for the most part it was pretty generic.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So, I mean, it was shot over a 2-year period, so I'm thinking that the transitions from start to finish was something that may have caused some hardships for the cinematographer, sorry.
Yeah, you know what? In his defense, I feel like that did maybe affect the cinematography a little bit. Because if you're shooting something over that period of time, right, it is hard to stay consistent.
Exactly, especially with the technological changes that happen.
Exactly.
I mean, there's now 4K shots. That's just crazy.
And the red cam,
Oh, I know. Billatu took advantage of that.
that was unreal, yeah.
It was unreal. So I guess it's ready. We're ready to rate it.
Yeah, I think so.
What are you thinking? I was thinking because it was average, nothing really stood out too much, but there were some good scenes throughout the dance moments. I'm not gonna give it a 6, but I'm gonna give it a 7.
A 7?
I think so.
Really? Okay. You know what? I'm going to give it a 6 for this one.
6? Why don't we go 6.5?
Let's do it.
Okay,
All right.
6.5 it is. We're gonna give this one a 6.5 out of 10. Now to talk about the best part of the film, the music by Darren.
Oh, yeah.
Penne, penne, nicolade.
Hey, wait a minute. Is you saying something rude to me?
Oh, it's all love, it's all love.
Okay.
So, this guy is on fire with this movie. I'm talking probably the best track list. I don't want to say it again after Tupaki, but you know, it's the best track list in 2012. I'm not joking. This is amazing.
It was amazing. It was unbelievable. I can tell you, like, after we went and saw the film, I downloaded the tracks. I'm listening to it all the time.
Me too.
It was so diverse, right? Every track was so different, which, like, that means you know the guy's talented.
It's true, and I think Simbu had his hand in this one. When Simbu's in a movie, he likes to take creative control, and he really helps the music directors that he works with become all they can be and produce the best possible track list. I think he did that perfectly in this movie. As he sang, he catered the songs to his dance moves. Everything was in line with the best possible outcome, really.
You can kind of see why it was the Simbu show, right?
Right? And this guy can act, he can
do
direct, he can
everything.
sing, and he can dance. There's nothing he can't do. He's
awesome.
unstoppable right now.
He is.
He is.
And you know, I think the music really helped within the storyline too. Like I felt like all those moments were really made
for
true
sure.
because of the music that was in the background.
No, I completely agree. It really brought certain situations that could have came across dull on camera. It brought them to life.
Yeah.
And I will say, this is a bold statement, but without the music in this film being as strong as it was, there would be, this movie would be lacking a lot.
It was my favorite part for sure.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Like such great music.
It's true. It doesn't get much better. And the background score as well. Something very strong we need to talk about. It really defined, again, the whole flow of the film. The song and dance moments, the love songs. He took different parts of the tracks, turned them into these beautiful melodies that just flourished throughout the whole film.
The emotion in the film was conveyed by the music.
It's true. Without it, it was nothing. And, even with, I'm going to say, without the music, Simbu wouldn't have even been as strong on film.
Whoa.
Whoa. That's a big statement.
That is.
It is.
Especially with that opening scene. I mean...
I know, right? But what I did want to say, guys, is that this film, it really did build around the music. Without it, it was nothing, like I mentioned. And I do think that directors in the industry take note. Darren is unbelievable. His past projects with teaming up with Yuvon, he's someone who hasn't been allowed or had the chance to establish himself in the industry, and I think that directors really need to give him that spotlight because he's defining the next wave, the next sound of music that we're going to see in Tamil cinema.
Yeah, you know what? The fact that he can take a soundtrack like that and make it, that people will instantly want to download it and listen to it over and over again, that says something right there.
It's true. And directors, if you want more people to watch your film and talk about it after they see it, this guy's your man.
I think
we
so.
can expect some big things from him in the future. And because it was so good, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. What are you thinking?
I think you're right on track.
I think so. So guys, 9 out of 10 it is. So after all our deliberation in this review, it's time to give our overall opinion and rating. So what we can conclude is that Simbu did an excellent job in this film. So if you're a Simbu fan, you're gonna like this one. Agreed?
Agreed. And the music was phenomenal. I would say just watch the movie for the music.
If you're gonna see it for any reason, that may just be the best reason to do so.
I think so.
So, having said that, we're gonna give this film a 6.7 out of 10. And remember, this is Review Raja
and Review Ronnie.
Certified. I am absolutely thrilled to have Miss Review Ronnie on this review with me today. It was an absolute pleasure really to have your perspective and your opinion on what I would call a chick flick romantic type comedy.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast, and thank you for introducing me to Tamil cinema. Honestly, my life has been changed.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And really, it's all about bringing Collywood to the world.
It's true.
One person at a time. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Hey, Penny! Ora patu palama!
On Paralame!
Penny, penny, na 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 na. Penny, penny, ni ene culo de. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
You're a really good singer.
Thank you. Penny, penny, ene culo de. Penny, penny, ni ene culo de. You're a really good dancer. That's all I got.
Guys, Review Ronnie here, bringing you a next review of Podaa Podi. I know, I didn't know what you were gonna do.
Recording.
I think we give it a 6 out of 10. Damn it. Person to work with this and work.
Really? You think so?
I think so. Vignesh Shivan not only wrote, but
Yes, it was! That wasn't good?
if you're a Simbu fan, Bene, ora patu palama.
On Paralame! Hey!
Bene, bene, ni ona katule. Don't think I said it right, but it's
That sounds
okay.
really good. Okay. Patu ure, palmana. So much in Patu Palama. So why'd you put a Panacea?
You're following me? No, don't follow me. I'm not the person you should be shooting, it's them.